Hi y'all, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and today I'm here to show you how to sew a custom planner cover. This is the planner cover that I designed for myself for 2021. It has a back slip pocket there that's perfect for a little extra notebook. It has pen slips across the front here. It has a tie closure. The tie closure will actually let you make this cover reversible, so that's exciting. Then inside you have a slip pocket that you could put your planner, the back edge of your planner or the front edge of your planner in. Some people like to put the back and the front in it. I just like one side in it. And then there's an opposite slip pocket that has like a little toolbar down it with a fob and an additional pen slip. So as mentioned, I give you the instructions to customize this to fit your planner, so it's really easy. I want to encourage you to have a lot of fun with the pockets and craft those to hold your contents. All right, so shall we get started? Using this process, you could custom size a similar design to fit your favorite planner. Currently, I am alternating between two planners. I like the Passion Planner and the Tools for Wisdom Planner, and I truly do use both of those. This planner cover is sized to fit my Passion Planner. I actually have affiliate links for both the Passion Planner and the Tools for Wisdom Planner, and I'll put those down in the notes for you. If you would like, you can also purchase an optional design board for this project, and that will include all the pattern measurements. I'm going to give those to you as we go, but I know it's often convenient and nice to just have that information all in one spot in a document that you could download or print. In addition to the pattern measurements, my design boards also include really concise written instructions, and I will be creating a new design board for every tutorial into 2021. So this is something that you can collect and save on your computer or print those out and put them in a binder. Okay, so for this project, you're going to be working with two master panels, which for my Passion Planner measure 11 inches tall by 16 inches wide, and those are going to comprise your interior and exterior body panels. For my exterior, I backed mine with a slightly smaller piece of Decoville Light. For my interior, I backed that with quilt batting. I like the combination of the quilt batting and the Decoville. It gives just the right amount of stability without being too stiff. 3 of my pockets were crafted from panels that measure 11 by 14, and what I did was press the 11-inch edges and then fold that in half to create the pocket. And then I just took a little 3 by 11-inch strip of cotton fabric and sandwiched that in between to create that nice little fun accent there. I did have one slightly larger pocket in which I incorporated what I'm calling this little toolbar, and so I crafted that in the same way, folded those in half and inserted the little accent, and then I took the folded edge and folded that over and pressed it so that I could incorporate a key fob and a pen slip on that. And this larger pocket was 11 by 16, the same measurement as the exterior panels. And the little fob and tabs were crafted from 3-inch wide strips of material. And that's actually 2.5 by 3 inches. So I folded that in half and then brought those raw edges inward to meet on that center press line, and then press that over again. And so I do have 2 of these short ones here for the pen slip. The key fob was a little longer, 3 by 6 there. You can customize them to fit your hardware as well. And so I'm just going to stitch down the open edge there and then the opposite edge to create my second little pen slip. fold that in half and tuck those raw edges underneath that pocket lip. And then go ahead and test fit your pen that you're going to insert in there and make sure that it fits. I really enjoy using these Sharpie pens for my planners. And you just want to make sure you have a good snug fit, but you don't want that so tight that you can't get the pen in and out. But likewise, you don't want your pen to slip out. So I like to put the pen in there and then custom fit that right up against there. And so I'm pretty happy with that look. So I'll be able to attach keys if I want and then keep my favorite pen right here. So now once you have this little master pocket panel put together with the toolbar loaded up, then you're going to want to stitch all those little accessories down and then come across the opposite edge and stitch down the accent fabric. I like to add 2 rows of stitching on the pockets just to finish those nice. So I'm fairly sure I'm going to make this green panel with the key fob my interior panel. And so what you want to do is position one of the pockets, ideally the one without the toolbar on it, against that left hand seam there, the 11-inch edge, and then you want to bump your pocket with the toolbar on it in about 1 inch, and you can go ahead and stitch across those short ends of that pocket just with like a 1/4 inch there just to hold them in place. And for this project you only need to make sure that one of the 4 pockets does sit flush with that outer edge, okay? For the rest of them, you can bump those in 1/2 inch to 1 inch depending upon your needs. So for my exterior panel, what I did using those 14 by 11-inch pockets that I pressed with the accent is I divided one with several pen slips, and then on the opposite one I just left that open so it's a complete slip pocket, and that's really useful for documents and for the actual, flap of a notebook. It gives you a little bit of freedom there and flexibility to carry like a bulky book. And so I have that one open slip on one side and then the pens on the opposite side. Now for this planner cover, I want to have tie closures, and so my tie closures measure 11 by 3, and what I did was take that top short 3-inch edge, press that over 1/2 inch, press that in half long ways, bring the outer edges inward to meet on the center, and then press that over. So this finished edge there will be on the exterior there, and that's what you'll use. You'll have 2 of those to tie it in a knot or a bow, whatever you like. And then the raw edge is going to be encased in the seam allowance. So just go ahead and stitch down the open edge across that little finished edge and back down the opposite side to balance that out. And then you're going to want to center your ties on your quilted panel there and just pin those in place and put the finished edges towards the inside there. All right, and so that's what that looks like. And again, this is going to be my exterior panel here. And then on the inside, I'm going to have a slip pocket for the actual planner cover, another slip pocket that I could fit the opposite edge of the planner in, and then I'm gonna have my little toolbar. So what I want to do now is position these 2 master panels right sides facing, and then I want to line up those short edges and the corners and keep the ties obviously out of that top edge as well as the bottom edge. You just want a little bit of the ties hanging off the sides so you can make sure that you capture those in the seam allowance. And so now what you need to do before you start sewing is determine which end you put the pocket that's all the way to the edge. So mine is on this right hand side, so I am not going to stitch that right hand short edge. I'm just going to stitch down the two long edges and then the one opposite short edge, and I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Okay, and then you can go ahead and remove your pins and trim up that excess. You just want to be careful that you don't get too close, because when you turn this around you are going to have to poke out the corners. So you're really just removing just a teeny smidgen of that seam allowance there, and you're trimming off the little excess from the ties as well. And this just will allow you to have nice corners when you turn this all around. So you do probably have some pins still on the inside of this, so you're just going to want to remove those, but don't set that opposite tie closure free quite yet, because I don't want that to get off center. So leave your tie in place, but you can remove the pins from your pockets if those are still in there, so you don't get a poke when you're coming through. And I think I have mine. And then once you get that turned right side out, you should still have your two pockets on each side. Go ahead and poke out your corners really good and give this a really nice press at this time, and you still should have your one tie pinned in place, and then one of them of course has already been captured in the seam allowance. Okay, so I have pressed this and I still have two pockets on each side, and one tie is completely secured and one tie is still pinned in place. So the pocket that's all the way to the edge, what you want to do is reach in and turn that over to the other side so that there is no longer a pocket there on that one side with the raw edges. Just make sure that your tie is nice and secure, and then come across that edge with your 3/8 of an inch seam allowance and stitch everything in place. And then once you get all of those layers secured, you can go ahead and trim away that excess there. And then you're going to turn that pocket back around, and you should have something that looks like this now. And now you can go ahead and set that tie free, because it is encased. I would give it one more good press and make sure you're happy with your corners there. If you need to trim them a little bit, go ahead. Mine don't look too bad. I think with a little turning stick I could get those out nice and even. Okay, and then now all you have to do is top stitch all the way around this to finish and hold everything in place, and then we can load it up. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. And so I have lots of spaces for my favorite pins there in the front, and then in that back cover I have room to slip a little extra notebook or documents and things like that. It is a snug fit, so I do feel good about it being secure in there. But you know, if you wanted, you could add a little snap, or you could even really close the bottom of that pocket. But I like the ability to be able to get that in and out from each side there. Then I have the tie closure. And then on the inside there, I have the option of slipping both covers underneath the pockets there. And then my little tool fob is back there. And so if I did need to put my keys on there, I could, and I can put an extra pen back there as well. And then I have that additional slip pocket in the front. And so you have a lot of flexibility as to where you keep the planner in this cover, because you could even stow it in any of the full slip through pockets as well. So it really is a multi-purpose organizer there. And if you want a little bit more room to overstuff, just simply increase the size of those panels. So it was an absolute pleasure sewing with you. This is our last tutorial for 2020. It has been a wild year, but I sure am glad that I had this work and this beautiful community to see me through. And thank you so much for all of your kindness, your generosity, and your support. I will be back with you next Tuesday, but I'm going to be here to talk about our 50,000 subscribers celebration, which we are crazy close to now. Thank you so much. In addition to my plans for the channel in 2021 and all the different options that you have if you would like to get involved with the Sewspire community. And then I'm also going to introduce a really cool service project to you all as well. So I'm excited to share all of those fun things with you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So until then, as always, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas.